Hey everyone, it's Haley, and today I'm going to be doing my December wrap-up. So you may be wondering a few things. One, why are you doing a December wrap-up in the middle of January? And that has to do with the other things you may be wondering. So first off, I was really busy at the end of the month. I was trying to get out all the end of the year videos. My sisters were home. I was doing Bookmas. Just a lot of things were going on, and I just didn't have time to film anything. And you can't pre-film wrap-ups just because, I mean, you don't know what you're gonna read. Like, you don't know when you're gonna read it, you don't know what you think about it, so you can't pre-film them, so I just kept on putting it off and putting it off. And then I got new bookshelves, which you can see in the background. They're beautiful, but what you can't see right now is that one of them is missing. So I thought I was going this past weekend to go and get the new book, the third one that I'm missing, the little skinny one that goes in the middle. I thought I was gonna get that this past weekend, but that didn't end up happening. So I had a ton of time to film last week, but I didn't film anything because I had this giant hole in the back. But I have no video to go up. Like, this is gonna go up today. I'm gonna mad dash to edit it and get it uploaded, but I had no video to go up today or Thursday. I had no videos for next week other than I have one review that was pre-filmed. That's all I have. So I was like, well, now I have to film something because I don't want to not put up any videos during the week just because there's a hole in my bookshelves. So we're just kind of putting up with the hole. I'm just gonna stand where the hole is. It's just gonna be a weird setup for right now, but I'm gonna try and like figure it out once I have the middle bookshelf, figure out what I want to do for the setup for filming and everything. I don't know. It's a work in progress. But once I do get that bookshelf, I will be doing a bookshelf tour, so that will be coming to you hopefully very soon. I really hope. So now that that's out of the way, my reading month in December was really great. I read more than I have in a really long time. I ended up reading 12 books. 4 of them were books of poetry, but still I'm really happy with that. I haven't read that much in a really long time, so I think that is a fabulous number. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into what I read. So like I mentioned, the first 4 are books of poetry. These were lent to me by my professor. So the first one is Talking Derby by Kate Hargreaves, which is poetry that has to do with roller derbies. I know nothing about roller derbies, but I thought this was really cool. I really enjoyed it. I think I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. I think Kate Hargreaves' poetry is really like out there and different. I've read both of her books of poetry, really enjoyed both of them, and this one was really different than the other one that I've read, but this one was really fun and just really cool to read. Next is Book of Blue by Shirley Graham. I think I gave this one a 4 out of 5 stars. I thought the idea of having poetry surrounding like different things that had to do with blue was really cool, and I think it was executed really well overall. Then I read The Hidden World by Leila Pepper. I have no idea how to pronounce that, but this was a really great book of poetry as well. I feel like I need to get into more modern poetry because all I read is traditional poetry, but I've really enjoyed all of these, so I clearly need to get into modern poetry. And the last one is The Madness of Planets by Bruce Meyer. I think I ended up giving this one a 5 out of 5 stars. I thought it was really cool how a lot of these were written to different Canadian poets and authors and all that, and I really enjoyed it overall. I thought the imagery was really beautiful and it was a really cool book of poetry. So the first full book that I ended up finishing in December was The Dream Thieves by Maggie Stiefvater. I actually started this in November, so I guess it's not technically the first full book that I finished in December, but you know what I mean. I am not going to say too much about it because I do have a review up for it, which will be linked down below. The review will be spoiler free as long as you have read The Raven Boys, which is the first book in this series. So I will link the Raven Boys review down below as well, just in case you haven't read this but you're interested in this series. It's kind of like a paranormal thing where there's these 4 guys, they're super cool, and there's Blue, the girl, and they're all kind of working together, and they're in this quirky world where they're trying to wake up these ley lines and find this Welsh king that they really don't believe is dead. They think he's just been sleeping for a really long time. It has a lot to do with mythology and kind of just cool things like that. It's a super unique series and it's super cool. It's one of my favorites and I would definitely recommend it. I really enjoyed this one. You get a look into one of the more mysterious characters, Ronan, and I thought it was really well executed. It was just super cool and I ended up giving it a 5 out of 5 stars, obviously. The next book that I read is The Miniaturist by Jessie Burton. I actually listened to this one on audiobook and I ended up giving it a 3 out of 5 stars. I thought that it could have been done a lot better. I overall thought the whole concept in the world was really interesting and I was super intrigued by it, but I just didn't really fall in love with the story like I was expecting to. I don't know, it just wasn't my favorite, but it was a pretty good book, just it was a little bit average to me. The next book that I read in December is My True Love Gave to Me by Stephanie Perkins. It's edited by her, but it's 12 holiday short stories by 12 different YA authors. I think I ended up giving this one a 3 out of 5 stars. It's kind of hard to rate it because it is an anthology, but there were some stories that I really loved and some that I really hated, but most of them fell into the okay range that I was kind of like meh. I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it. So that's kind of why I gave the whole book an okay rating. The next book that I read is definitely my favorite of the month, and that is ILLUMINAE by Aimee Kaufman and Kristoff. Now, I was a little bit apprehensive about this book because I'm not generally into sci-fi, but I did have hope because I read These Broken Stars by Aimee Kaufman and Megan Spooner, and I really enjoyed it, and Aimee Kaufman co-wrote this one, so I did have some pretty high hopes, but I wasn't really sure what to expect. But this book absolutely blew my mind. It is one of the coolest books I have ever read. I have a review up for it, so I will link that down below for you guys and you can go and check it out. But I honestly absolutely loved it. It was just so good, and it's told like in case files and like just super cool things. Like, it's not a normal book at all. Like, it has all of these extra things that just make the book such an experience. And I listened to the audiobook, which really just elevated that experience and made me feel like I was watching a super cool movie. It was just awesome. If you want to hear more, just watch my review because that will be much more coherent. Then after that, I read Dream a Little Dream by Kirsten Gier. This book was pretty disappointing. It was kind of the same as the Ruby Red trilogy. It had a ton of potential. The story could have been really cool, but it was just average. It was a whole lot of nothing. Not much happened. It was just a lot of over describing and just kind of like skirting around the same issues but never really getting to the heart of it. It's just, that's kind of my issue with Kirsten Gier, is that I feel like she writes but she kind of overtells. Just not much happens in her books, and this one was kind of the same. Then I read Scorpio Races by Maggie Stiefvater. I think I gave this one a 3.5 stars. I thought this one was really cool. The idea was super interesting. It was really unique. I'd never heard of it before, but I felt like a lot of things weren't really really well described, so I was kind of confused, but I liked the characters and I did like the overall concept. The writing was beautiful. I just kind of wish that there had been a little bit more. Then I read a book for class, and that is The Art of Fiction by David Lodge. I think I gave this a 3 out of 5 stars. It's a book about writing, and I found it to be okay. Like, it was kind of helpful, not really. It was a lot of just quotes, and that wasn't really helpful to me, so I was just kind of like meh. And then the final book that I finished in December and in the year of 2015 was Ensnared by A.G. Howard. Now, I will be doing a review for this soon, so I'm going to film it. Don't worry, I just haven't gotten around to it yet, but I had mixed feelings about this. I felt like the ending kind of left it too open-ended. I mean, this ends a whole entire trilogy, the Splintered trilogy, and I just wanted more conclusion. I felt like the ending was a little bit of a cop-out. It was just kind of meh. I did give it 4 out of 5 stars because I did like the world. It was overall a really good book. I just wanted more from the ending. But like I said, I will be doing a review for it soon, so once I do that, I will link it down below. So those are all of the books that I read in December. Let me know what you guys read in December. I hope you guys had a lovely New Year's, even though that's way past now, and I hope you guys are having a good start to your 2016. I have read quite a bit so far. I think I've read 5 books so far. Now I'm kind of slowing down because I'm back at school as of yesterday. unfortunately. But yeah, it's been a great year so far, and I think it's going to continue to get even better as far as reading and really just everything. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you wanted to see any reviews for any of these books, any ones that I have will be linked down below, and if I haven't done it yet, I'll just put that I'm going to do a review soon for it. And if you wanted to follow me on social media, all that stuff is linked down below as well. So yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!